In response to the rapid changes taking place, countries throughout the world are reviewing their education systems. The key questions for schools and teachers in a rapidly changing world are: first, what should students learn in the 21st century? And the second one is, how will teachers prepare students for the 21st century? To answer for this question, we take an interview from students and find out that they are motivated by the interesting classes, or they are pushed by their parents to go to school and study, or they wanted to have in the future life a well-paid job because they like and love their teachers and they just want to know something new. And we know that all the students can face with a lot of barriers on their way of learning. It's a hard study or very hard lessons, boring lessons. Then they're just lazy students and they don't want to study. In this case, we all know that the most important part of the lesson is the motivational statement. As you can see, there is a big list of methods that you can use on this stage in order to motivate them and be interested and engaged on the lesson. The most important and interesting for me, it is the flower bloom, where I use it for my lessons. Also, we can use some bonding games in order to motivate them and to be interested on the following lesson. Like, for example, very interesting dancing, playing games with this kind of example, and the circle of wishes, which is very famous now, and we know that here students should give a wish to another student say thank you and give to another one, and so on. And at the end they make one big wish for the whole class. On our way of teaching, we use a lot of methods and techniques in order to give a good education. And on operational stage with the main body, we use a lot of, as you can see, methods in order to learn, in order to teach our students. And we can use these Kazakhstan sites like Bilimland, online, and Kahoot is famous now. Also, Word Wall, these kind of sites help to motivate students and make our lessons more interesting.
Want to create amazing video lessons in minutes?
We can use
Edpuzzle
some other
is your
sites
missing
like Edpuzzles, TED Talks on the lessons. And I first start my lessons by dividing students, for example, on this lesson using QR codes, and then we are trying to find out the main theme of the lesson, to find out the title. And in this case, I play with them a game, Polychudes, where students with associations and the pictures give a letter for the lesson, and in this way we find out the theme animals behavior. The next part, it is ZHU, or as I say, the table down ogle, where students can first write down on the first chart what they in general know about the theme. On the second part, they write down what they want to know, and at the end of the lesson they write down what they have learned from the lesson. And we divide the poster in 3 colors, and here students stick their stickers there and share their ideas. The next step, it is using some kind of crosswords or puzzles where students can make a lot of interesting exercises. Like here on the lesson Animals Behavior, they made a puzzle, create a lesson pictures where they find out the definition for the following main words of the lesson and find out very interesting ways. Here plickers, which I used to assess students on the lesson, putting all the exercise into plicker site. I made a clicker tasks where students answer on the lesson and can be assessed on the lesson using these QR code, Plickers QR codes. They find out where they're right or wrong. If they are right, they see green color. If they are wrong, they see red color. Like here, they show me their Plickers, and I scan their Plickers where they can, of course, show and find out their answer, if they're right or wrong in the way of answering. And as you can see, they make their answers, give the answers, and we find out the answers for the questions and tasks, and they are assessed on the lesson in this way, like card 1, 12, and 13. Also, we use some warm-ups on the lessons where students are tired a little bit, and then we have done all the tasks. We can do a reflective stage where, as you can see, also a big list of methods and techniques that you can use. The most interesting for me, as I told you before, it is a chart of Donna Ogle, where at the end they share with give me feedback and shared what they have learned from the lesson. In this way, I finished my lesson and say goodbye to
you
my
took my
students.
masterclass and learned to make egg toast really good.
Delicious.
That's cool, but can you learn to make egg toast really good and make the bread for your egg toast while singing perfectly on key? And while you're singing, can you learn to take a beat, to try contemplating life's big questions? And from all that, can you learn to make yourself laugh?
Learning a lot? Good.
And after your really good laugh, can you learn to get a really good idea, which helps you learn to get noticed and learn to land yourself a book deal and learn to ensure yourself a really happy partner? And then, can you both learn to have a really awesome dream that helps you find your inner peace? And then later, can you learn to train your really good boy, who you'll bring along with your new impeccable wardrobe to your press appearances for that whole signed author thing that turns into you negotiating a whole movie deal thing that turns into more self-confidence, which helps you realize you can do pretty much anything. Or you could just make really good egg toast. There's so much new to know. Masterclass.